All right, guys. Hey, what's up, man? Rick here and Christian. Obviously, we tried to do this video already, man, but I messed it up, so we got take two.
We blame Apple products, man. Dang, come on, Apple, get it together. These batteries.
Man, I want to talk about. You got a lot of stuff going on. It's a little older now because it took us a while.
Right. But we got to address Will Smith.
Yeah, Will
slapping
Chris Rock,
and Jorge Masvidal punching Covington. And there's been one more. Was there one more?
There's a couple. There's a couple back in the day.
Chappelle got tackled.
Yeah, Chappelle got tackled
on stage, right?
Yeah. I forgot.
we got to start teaching comedians jiu-jitsu, right?
You know, I was thinking about this the other day. We were talking about all the different ones.
Yeah.
And I forgot about Khabib and Conor. Khabib jumped off the cage and kicked Dylan Dennis.
Yeah.
That's one of the best. I actually have a shirt that has Khabib's pose as he's going to kick him.
Right.
And it says Air Khabib.
Nice.
It's red.
It's like
the
Nike
Air
outlets.
Jordan.
Yeah.
So one of my students.
Did he connect with Dennis?
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
You like Dylan Dennis? Come on.
I look, man. I mean, you know.
Marcelo Garcia kicked him.
I mean,
how you get kicked out of Marcelo Garcia? He's like the nicest dude in the world. How you gonna get kicked out of there?
So, what the conversation was, hey man, is any of this appropriate ever?
Yeah.
Right? Can you just walk up and slap somebody? Right?
I don't think so. Where do you want to start at, man? Which one do you want to start with?
Let's talk chronological. I think Kobe and Masvidal first. First of all, they had the fight.
Yeah.
Masvidal lost.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good fight. You know. It's settled, but you know, for sure, in the promotion of the fight, maybe some lines were crossed. I guess it's hard for me to disagree, especially when you start talking about somebody's wife or their kids. It gets a little bit personal, for sure. I don't think that has any business in the promotion. There's so many other things that you can make a story out of. We shouldn't have to make it out of somebody's family, right? These kids didn't sign up for this.
It's gotta be lines, I think. Somewhere's got to be a line.
Yeah, right. I mean, for sure. So so again, but man, you handle the cage. What I had a problem with Masvidal walking up to him and sucker punching him, right? And the Hal thing, right? We talked about this, and did we talk about this one? This was last time, right?
Before?
Yeah, because this is a big one too in jiu-jitsu, right? Yeah. So the thing was.
You want to start with Half?
Yeah, let's start with Half.
Okay.
And so
Half and Flavio Almeida.
Right.
And
we're at a tournament. Half Gracie has a school in San Francisco. Yeah. Flavio Almeida's the Gracie Baja. Mm-hmm. Maybe the school coordinator or whatever. That's who you talk to, the open schools. They're opening a school in San Francisco. Half not happy about it. Meets up at a tournament. I think it was the Worlds or Pans or something. I forgot what it was. It was at the Pyramid, I think.
Yeah.
And Half ended up sucker punching the guys. And knock a couple of things. He lost a tooth or two. Did he lose a tooth?
Yeah.
I mean, look, bro. I mean, you guys can join the club, man. If you do jiu-jitsu, I can't believe you guys don't. It took that long for you guys to lose a tooth, right? But all jokes aside, the way the Hal thing went down, I didn't like it. I mean, again, I don't have a problem with Masvidal punching Colby Covington. I don't have a problem with Hal punching the guy. If you got to fight about it, got to fight about it.
Yeah.
But to me, if you sucker punch somebody, that's take a step towards cowardice to me. You know what I mean? That's why I liked it better when, and not that I necessarily condone it, but I don't have a problem with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Yeah. I'm not saying he should have, but I'm saying, man, if somebody talks about your wife, I'm okay with you slapping the guy. To me, a slap is an incitement to violence, right? Now, I'm sure you could be arrested for slapping somebody. Sure. But for me, hey, man, as a man, if I want to fight somebody, we're going to find out if this guy's going to fight or not. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now, if he slaps him and he doesn't want to fight, then I consider it handled, just like it was with Rock and Will Smith, right? Hey, man, don't talk about the guy's wife. Yeah. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens with that, right?
It looks like it's going to cost Will Smith a lot of money.
I mean, hey.
But he didn't file charges on him.
Yeah.
Are you sure, side note, that the UFC shouldn't have to cut Covington because he filed charges and Will Smith didn't? What does it say about Covington?
I mean, look, man.
I don't like Covington.
He doesn't like anybody.
Fuck that guy.
He doesn't like anybody. But
Covington's a punk.
No, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, look, the guy's got to do what he feels is right? I'm not sure how that one even ended. I watched the clip, but I mean, did it get broken up? I can't remember. But again, man, I think Masvidal came and he wasn't even alone. That's the problem. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And neither was Half. You understand? So, but
I
again,
think Half is probably Half is definitely wrong.
right.
But also don't know. This is the other thing on that. You should never do what they did.
Right.
Probably, but I mean, it depends, right? What?
Right.
I didn't. So that going back to, I can't remember who it was, but it was a female Gracie.
Right.
Old, like.
Older. Okay. Maybe
like one of Helio's wives or Helio's sister or something like that.
That generation.
That generation.
What happened?
I don't remember who it was, but she put a letter out about this, and I think this argument is part of Half and Gracie Barra and goes all the way back.
This is a family matter, right?
Yeah.
In many ways.
This
right?
goes all the way back to Brazil. I mean, she was bringing up when Hulse died.
Right. Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Carlos Gracie Jr. was taken over, and then
right.
later on, apparently, he didn't want to be that involved anymore.
Right.
And Ralph and Henzo really carried that name.
Brand.
Yeah,
right. So we get it. I mean, and even Masvidal and Covington is kind of a family matter, right? These guys came up together, right?
Yeah. So, I don't know what happened back then. I wasn't there. Right. And so this could be building from something else.
Right.
But on top of that, I didn't read the emails that Half sent to
Gracie Barra.
Right. Like if you started a gym across the street from me.
Right.
Somebody did. And I emailed you and was like, hey man.
That's the butcher shop?
Yeah. You're like, hey man, you can't do that or you shouldn't do that. You can.
Yeah, you shouldn't do it.
You shouldn't do it.
If it's one of your guys, especially.
Yeah.
Now, if it's somebody else you don't know, it's competition.
Like maybe it's the team I used to be on, like Clinch.
Right, okay.
Right? Like
was it vote from Clinch to open the gym?
If they did.
Okay,
just imagine
right,
this scenario, right? They're going to open this gym, and I emailed them like, hey man, I've been here for a long time. I'm established.
Right.
Christian and I kind of have this old handshake agreement that you get so far away from each other.
Yeah.
And we help each other out. Like, this is not the way to do this. And you just blew me off.
Yeah.
Or, like, didn't return my emails. Or you, especially if you tell me, like, I don't have to listen to him or you and I can do whatever I want.
Right.
But you see a lot of these days with people. It's like, well, I can do whatever I want. It's free country. Okay, cool.
Right.
Something's going to happen.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with something.
Right. Yeah. I also don't know what Flavio said, and I'm not trying to defend Half just for conversation.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what Flavio said to him.
Right.
When he first walked up, he's talking to him. I don't know what he said. What if he told him to fuck off?
Well,
I don't think he did.
I mean, in the video that I saw, they shook hands. They were kind of watching matches together, and and to me that makes it a little bit more egregious. But again,
I agree.
All I'm saying is, I don't have a problem with you trying to fight the guy for whatever offense he made. Covington, Masvidal too, Will Smith, and whoever we're talking about.
Half, I think, is definitely wrong.
But when you sucker punch somebody, to me that says something. That means you don't have the skills. You don't think you have the skills yourself to handle if this guy's ready. You know what I mean? And it's fine if that's the case, but I just can't condone it. And again, like, hey man, whatever happens.
Yeah.
This guy's done some. Each of these people have done great things in the martial arts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even though that's true, I just don't condone that the sucker punch type stuff.
I think
you know
that's wrong. I don't agree with Jorge being wrong.
Well, I mean, again, man, it speaks to, hey man, if this guy was, talking about Masvidal's family, they came up together. We don't know the particulars, but here's the thing: if it's me and 3 guys come up, and it's just me and 3 guys, I don't have a problem with you sucker punch. I mean, if violence is potential coming, and I can tell, man, we already have beef, and now the guy's got 3 guys. Hey, it's no problem, man. We're gonna go crazy. I get that.
Yeah.
But if you got 3 guys and this is 1 guy, hey, you guys stand back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, in Brazil, they say, hey man, make sure nobody steps in, right? Sure. I mean, that's the thing.
I think the difference between Half and Jorge's situation is, for me, is Half's a business deal. Right. This is a business thing that doesn't appear to be personal, and you jump somebody
for
over
us
money.
Right.
But then on the Jorge Colby thing, like, where I'm pretty much like, hey, Colby's, with all the things he said to so many people about so much different things, and he used to be on the American Top Team.
Right.
And has left. So you have that. He's an ex-team member. You used to be really good friends with him. He said all kinds of crazy stuff about your wife, your kids, etc. He attacked what's her name? Joanna, the strawweight. The Polish.
Yeah. I can't. It's hard to say. Yeah. Wait, Covington said something about it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
They go, Poirier, like people that Masvidal's close with.
Yeah.
And he goes after them too. So like, you've insulted me, you've insulted my friends, you've insulted my family, you've insulted my team.
I mean, bro, listen, I'm understanding.
So
I'm just saying, slap the guys, fight the guy.
For me, like, and then I think Jorge. You also don't know. I mean, there's people online that were talking about this. I'm biased on this thing because I can't stand Colby. I think Colby is everything that's wrong with the United States and MMA is what he does.
Right.
But and I think it's eventually going to be when Hoy says MMA is cancer, that's what he's talking about.
Right.
And so I'm biased on this, but I don't care what he did. I wish he would have taken a bat. That's where I'm at with Covington. I can't stand that guy so bad. And I mean, when he told Dustin Poirier, this thing I sent you.
Yeah.
And he's like, your wife's a hoe, your kids are illegitimate or something, and
I mean, I get
I
it,
would
bro.
fucking kill you, bro.
I get it, man. But Rick,
especially,
Right. I mean,
you better be serious about it if you said it. Like,
Right.
especially if you said it to hype up this fight. I'm coming to your gym with a bat, dude. I'm gonna make the point.
This is a separate topic. I think we might address it. I don't know if it was the last one, but for sure, the idea of promoting is difficult. To me, that speaks more to humanity right now. It's not just right now; it's all of us. But again, this is what we're talking about. Really, is honor. You understand?
Yeah.
When is it okay to address? You feel like somebody is like besmirched your honor.
Yeah.
When is it okay to handle? When should you handle it? When is it okay to put hands on somebody? Right.
It's almost always it's almost always the more honorable thing to do to not do something.
Right.
Right. It's the more mature thing to do, and definitely probably the more honorable thing to do is to walk away from it and just be away from that person. Where I think that changes nowadays is when people are putting it on TV and stuff. There's only so much you can escape.
For sure.
But that being said, I'm not that guy. I'm not the bigger person. For me personally, like I think part of that's generational. Like
Rick today versus Rick 10 years ago,
I'm
right?
Still not. If you talk about my wife, I'm gonna fucking beat your ass.
For sure, I get
That's
that.
not right.
But here's where I come down on it, I guess. The idea is we're promoting a fight. I don't think you should ever cross the line. I don't think you should bring somebody's family down. That is accepted for. And again, I don't have a problem with you handling it. Just don't sucker punch the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
I agree.
he already knows. Just walk up to him. It's going to be a fight. Just fight the guy.
Yeah. You gotta admit it was funny.
Well, it's funny for us because we look at my face, man. For sure. Again, that's promotion. You know what I mean? Like, look, if these guys fight again, they'll have this to, you know what I mean? It's a thing. You know what I mean? And as much as we hate that, they would use that. And so, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think they should. But Rick, here's the thing. Like, this is a special deal because it's promotion.
Yeah.
The Half thing is a different deal. It's family business. I get it. But now let's talk about regular business. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, when is it okay to, in real life, not professional fighters, not professional jiu-jitsu men, but hey, I'm a blue belt, I'm a purple belt.
More of like
when can I mess somebody up, right?
Will Smith and Chris Rock.
That's a good one, right? Yeah. The civilians, basically.
So yeah, man. Aubrey, my wife, she said somebody asked her about this, what she thought about it, and she said, and my wife's a sweetheart,
right?
And she is not like me, and she,
thank God,
she said, man, he better do something about it.
Yeah, right. I mean, hey, yeah. Now, for sure, I think Will Smith could have handled it backstage or something like that, or and they're still, hey man, did they practice this backstage? Did the punch connect? Whatever. I mean, who knows? But I believe it was legitimate. It looks like when I look at Will Smith that he's suffering. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the thing too, man. I mean, that's what it's really to me all about, right? Mm-hmm. Not we're talking about Jorge and Masvidal, although they are, they're suffering, meaning something happened to them and they're still processing it. Still hurts them to think about, right? And again, man, like, that's what jiu-jitsu is here to help us with, right? It's easy for us right now to deal with spazzy white belts, people that use too much energy, people that elbow you in the face, or people who, that maybe, they stretch the arm, you tapped, you know what I mean? The guy didn't let go immediately, or whatever. There's all kinds of little offenses that happen when you roll sometimes, But we're all struggling with something, right? And once you understand that this person is acting like an asshole, man, this is on a personal level, right? You know, I know this guy since Clinch basically started. You know what I mean? And like, he's a handful to deal with, right? Especially at the beginning, like he's ready to fight. Like, honor is so important to him. He's ready to fight about it. But he's learned, I feel like, to control it. He doesn't have to fight about everything. There's lots of ways I feel like you express yourself in a way that I think it's even more effective than if you punch the guy, right? Because now he kind of knows where you're coming from, and that because he knows, oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
But again, like, when you, like, a lot of my students, I know them, and I see the kind of, like, you know, how they operate. And like, but then I get to meet your father. You're like, oh shit, man. Like, I never thought about that, right? Yeah. Like, this must be, because Rick's dad is a hard individual. You know what I mean? And man, maybe he treats people not the way we like to be treated, you know? Yeah. But he's doing that because he suffered something. You understand?
Yeah.
We're only, we learn love and, you know, how to show love and caring and how to receive love and caring at an early age. And, you know, by unqualified people, right?
Yeah.
And I say that because I'm a parent and I know how unqualified I was, right? And so, you know, it's what we're dealing with. And jiu-jitsu, the idea that I know I can defend myself physically, I don't have to, it doesn't matter really what anybody says, you know, now to a certain point, right?
Sure.
The guy says something about your mother, your wife or something, okay man, hey man. You know, but you can give them a verbal warning first or whatever, you know. But the idea is, hey man, what's going on with you that you think that's okay, number one. You know what I mean?
That's one of my favorite things to do now. You're talking about kind of de-escalating things.
Right.
I just ask them now, like, what makes you think that's okay? It's one of my favorite things to do with new students.
Yeah.
Like, to get them to break the bad habits, like the spazzy white belts.
Right.
You know, I'll have somebody that, say, elbows you in the mouth, and you're like,
right.
What was your intention
right.
when you tried that somersault flying knee slice pass?
Right.
What did you think was going to happen?
I was trying to win, coach.
And you're like, hey man, I get it, and I'm going to show you the better way and make you win faster if you listen.
Right.
Watch this. You have to do it. You have to learn this way.
Right.
You got to slow down. You got to do this. But you know, I agree for sure. Like I said, jiu-jitsu without a doubt. I tell people, everyone that comes in to here wants to learn how to fight. That's why they're here.
Right.
And
you heard Hoist, remember the seminar? He's asking, why did you remember that? Yeah.
So I've said this for years.
Right, exactly.
Everybody's here
because
they want to learn how to fight.
Right.
The second question is why, and Hoist asked this.
Right.
Why? Is it because you're a police officer? Is it because you had a situation happen to you?
Right.
Is it because you don't have any confidence? Whatever. Right? There's lots of secondary things that are benefits as well, like losing weight, getting in shape, more confidence. Jiu-jitsu is a social event. Lots of different things that come as a part of it.
Right.
But ultimately, in the end, in the process of learning how to fight, teaching someone how to fight, you get a lot of stuff out of it. And one of it is, like you said, you don't have to fight everybody.
Right.
You know you can win.
Right.
You also know the consequences of fighting.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I really want to get all busted up today? Is this really worth it? And the answer is almost always no. My favorite things for alcohol and egos, if you can control your alcohol and egos, you'll never get another fight again. And that's where most of this comes from. When you look at like social violence that's out there, bar fights,
right,
stuff, high school fights,
it's alcohol and egos.
Alcohol and egos. Yeah. If you can control those things, you're good. But and all this stuff we're talking about is mostly ego. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of though, to turn it back full circle, what's the quote? I think it might have been Half, or it might have been Hine. Maybe it was Henzo, but he says, "Why learn jiu-jitsu?" He says, "Because one day somebody's gonna try to take something from you.
Yeah.
That's important to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's important for you to be able to." He said it much more eloquently, and we'll try to pull it up, man.
Yeah, I'll find it. I believe that's how.
It's a great one though, right?
Yeah. Let me put this out there.
And you're gonna have to choke that mother.
Yeah.
Right. That's a great one. Right?
That's a great one. Let me put this out there.
Yeah.
This is something talking about mental stuff.
Right.
So we're gonna say my wife, right? We're just gonna use my wife as an example. So my wife goes through life pretty confident that she doesn't have to, that she's protected. My wife's a very protected person by me.
Right.
One of the reasons she goes through life so confidently is because of that.
Right.
Right.
She knows you have her back.
So we go to the Oscar show,
Right.
and Chris Rock insults her.
Right.
It's something that she's very sensitive about,
Right.
and it takes part of that away from her.
Chris Rock getting slapped.
So the only way for me, this is an old way of thinking, but the way that I restore that is I let her know that she is going to be protected by
Right.
slapping Chris Rock.
Right.
So as much as this is where I disagree with Will Smith should not have done that. I think we all know this.
Right.
That was the wrong place, wrong time for sure. Dude in the back could have beat the crap out of him in the back. He's going to lose millions of dollars.
Or just talk to him.
Yeah. He's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars over this.
Right. Right.
And man, as much as I want to like Jada and Will, Jada's probably not a good person. Probably not the person to be defending anyway.
Rick, she's suffering.
Yes, for sure. There's a better way to handle this, for sure. But by him doing what he's doing, he protected her. He did help.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. On some levels, I'm like, yeah. I mean, that's what should have happened.
I understand that it probably hurt Chris Rock's feelings. And it probably hurt his face a little bit.
Right.
But was he injured?
I mean,
He didn't really do anything. He just slapped him. He didn't put him in the hospital. It didn't cost him any money. Probably made him money. Right? It didn't cost him any money. He didn't go to the hospital. He wasn't really injured.
Man, I thought he handled it with class.
It hurt his feelings. And I like Chris Rock, but it hurt his feelings.
Right.
And everybody made it out like it was egregious. This happened. Oh my God, he slapped him.
Right.
Slap me
Especially
over.
the people in this audience, right?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't care. So, but
They don't see a lot of people getting slapped a lot of times.
I get that we cross the people. I've heard this. You cross the line whenever you make contact with somebody or whatever. But why is it okay for Chris Rock? I get he's a comedian. He's trying to be funny.
Right.
But I also don't know the backstory on this. Apparently, he said a lot of stuff about her over the years, and this maybe was building a little bit. So,
Right.
But he's a comedian.
Yeah.
But what gives this one guy the right? Because you can argue that some comedians are verbal bullies and that they bully people verbally.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So what gives him the right to insult her and hurt her feelings,
Right.
but doesn't give Will Smith the right to assault him and hurt his feelings? Because he didn't hit him.
Right.
He just slapped him. He just made him look bad for everybody.
Again, I'm okay with a slap. I agree it's not the proper time or place. He could have handled backstage, could have called everybody. But hey, man, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah.
That's again, Rick. Like it or not like it, everybody's talking about it. Next day, they ain't talking about who won Best Picture, bro. They only talking about this for weeks, right?
Yeah.
So
I really like Will Smith too.
I like all those people involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, even let's take it back to you being a Marine.
Yeah.
In some of these Middle Eastern countries, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the same kind of, how can I say this, values, right? One of the things they value a lot is honor. We talk about this, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, hey man, if they, the way they treat their women, they cover them up, right? The way they do certain things, it's all about honor,
Yeah.
right? And it's such a part of that society that if you talk to most of the women there, they even look at them like they cover themselves up.
Yeah.
A lot of them, right? Now, a lot of them don't feel that way, and they would love to live like the values of America and be
Yeah.
free to do whatever, right?
Yeah.
And we get it, right? Now, I hope they one day get there right, for sure.
Yeah.
But you said something to me all those years ago, and you said, hey, listen, man, there's something about that. Hey, I'm not saying I agree with that,
Yeah.
but there's something to that, right? About how they value their women. Like they should be
Yeah. They,
protected and you know what I mean. And again, it's not a matter of because I'm sure some women in the audience will be like, hey man, we don't need protection, right?
Yeah.
And for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying how you feel is how you feel, but I'm telling you how we feel as a men.
Yeah.
It's part of our lot in life to protect, especially our women, but all women,
Yeah.
right?
For sure.
And so now how they go about doing it, we can all disagree, right? I don't think women should be covered up head to toe, for sure. I don't believe that. But I do believe that women should be honored and protected.
Yeah, I mean it's there's just something about that. Over there is different. They used to say, imagine a cup, and you have all the. I'm gonna use my coffee cup because I need a refill anyway.
Right.
They have my cup, and all the honor of your family is in this one cup.
Right.
And the people that hold the most of it, your whole family holds honor, But if you get slapped in the face, that's a little drink.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal. Well, the guy was bigger than me. I shouldn't fight back. Right. But if somebody does something to a woman, that's literally pouring out on her.
Right.
The only way to fill that back up, like I'm going to do.
Right. So we put some honor in there.
The only way to fill that up,
right,
is to retaliate.
It's to have address this dishonor.
Address it. Yes. It's the only way to do that. And your family's weight of your family's honor, its value in that society, is a lot judged on how much honor's in your cup. How many times do you allow people to insult your family name or insult especially your women?
Right.
And it's no different. America was the same way 2 or 3 decades ago. If you go back, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 decades ago, but if you go back to especially the 50s, I guess we would probably say, but you can maybe go back to the 70s in Oklahoma.
Right.
And your
Take it
parents,
back to the founding, Coach.
Yeah.
The founding of the country. They had duels, right? Alexander lost because this guy besmirched his honor in some way. They challenged him to a duel. Somebody died over it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you still have people here think that way. Like Mike Pence said, I don't go to dinner with women with my wife's not there.
Right.
And he was like, and then people got on him about it, but he meant it sincerely. He's like, I just don't think I should be doing it.
Yeah.
So I take her along. I don't not go out to dinner with women.
If she's not there, we're just not going to dinner.
We just do it another time.
Yeah.
And that's probably extreme, but I mean,
I don't know that it's that extreme.
Different times.
Yeah.
You know, and I always tell my female family members, whatever, that it's not because you need protection necessarily. It's that I want to protect you. It means a lot to me to be able to protect you. I think that's important. I think it's important for males too. I think males that aren't protective, or that maybe not that there aren't, that they can't protect people.
Right.
That matters to your mental psyche as well.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, it's part of like we're talking about. I always say bullying is part of like growing up, and it's part of your social development. So is protecting people from bullies, and
right.
So is defending someone's honor and having the idea of honor. Because honor is just not talking about that. I mean, honor is if there's $100 laying on the table, do you pick it up or not?
Right.
Maybe you call that integrity, but honor as well. Like, I have enough honor that I'm not going to take that. I know that somebody else is going to leave it there. And those lessons, I think, are built in a lot of different ways. But yeah, it's the world's kind of crazy now, and mentalities are changing. But the next one is Chappelle.
Yeah.
This one's different. This is mental health.
Yeah, this is mental health.
This is not. Yeah, they're all mental health. All of the things we talk about are mental health, but this one's serious. It's actually a mental health issue.
This is good. This is a good one. So Chappelle's hosting this. I think it's called Netflix is a Joke. I think it was the big venue in Los Angeles, and he's just hosting, bringing up different comedians, and somebody jumped on stage and tackled the guy. And man, they really handled this guy afterwards.
Oh man.
And I don't know if they're going to press charges or not, but turns out, I mean, I think Chappelle said that the guy was suffering mentally.
Yeah.
He's a homeless guy, and he said that his grandmother was in New York and she needed help, and nobody's helping her. And he wanted to bring attention to this situation, right? And I'm glad this is good. We're kind of wrapping it up on this because if that story is true, again, this person is suffering, right? And he caused more suffering.
Yeah.
Right.
That's usually what happens.
It's always happens, right? And that's what I'm saying. So it's easy for us to not, we disagree with a lot of things, like Dylan Dennis, right? I don't like a lot of stuff Dylan Dennis does, right? Yeah. But again, I know Dylan Dennis is suffering.
Yeah.
You understand? And so as a jiu-jitsu guy, white belts, right? White belts come in. We always got to tell the white belts, hey man, just calm down, right? Calm down. But you guys got to understand, all right? They are calm. It's not a matter of being calm. But when you're trying a new skill, any new skill, especially if it's like dangerous, right? Like let's say skydiving, right? If you never skydived before, and you have that desire to want to, like, man, you're excited about it, right? You're excited about coming in here and learning how to defend yourself, right? But you never done it before. So everything you do, there's a tension involved. It's like, Rick, we talk about all the time, like, hey, if I put a 2x4 on the ground and you walk across it, it's one thing. But if we bring it up 300 feet in the air and you just walk across it, it's a lot different, right? The stakes are higher, right? And especially in a male's mind, I'm coming in here to learn how to fight, right? That's why sometimes you do see a white belt. This happened to me so many thousands of times over the years, right?
Yeah.
You show the guy the arm bar, right? And you show them in a slow and controlled manner. But when they practice it as fast as possible because what they're doing is they're practicing for a fight in their mind, right? They don't understand kind of how it's developed, right? It's not something it's a tension in their body.
Yeah.
It's like when you feel a tension, it's like, hey, just relax. But they're not going to be able to relax until they know what they're doing, right? And so it's all about specificity of language. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to teach the guy. When I tell you to relax, what I'm saying is you're grabbing me and you're. You feel that? You feel me squeezing you, right?
Yeah.
And this is how I want you to grab me, okay? And here, this is what we're doing. And the reason why is because if I grab you harder than that, I'm wasting my energy. And if I keep doing it in about 20 seconds, I'm not going to be able to grab you at all, okay? So this is about the proper, appropriate use of your energy. You know what I mean? And that's why it's important not to let white belts roll. White belts, we don't let white belts roll with women, because men, they don't know what they're doing, and they have the strength and power to hurt somebody, right? And again, they're suffering from ignorance. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They're suffering from ignorance,
Yeah.
right? And so now, Rick, if imagine a white belt comes in,
Yeah.
he and we don't know what's going on, and the guy ends up hurting somebody because that's not even his fault. It's our fault as instructors, right? He didn't know what he's doing. We let him go with somebody else who didn't know what they're doing, and somebody got hurt. And now somebody's pissed about it, right?
Yeah.
But that's our fault. And so once we cure the ignorance and say, hey, this is why, it happens less and less until eventually, right? And that's why it's like, hey, listen, man, as a jiu-jitsu guy, I know that, right? And I see what happens. We were all white belts. I was this guy. I was suffering from ignorance. I'm still suffering from ignorance from a lot of things, right? And it lets me be more forgiving. Somebody says something that's inappropriate. I mean, I have lots of people, you wouldn't think it now,
Yeah.
but still people say some stuff that's, say, hey man, it's a little bit offensive, But man, come on, man. Is it gonna bother me, this, man?
Yeah.
I had people, look at my face, look at my ears. This guy's words is gonna hurt me, right?
Yeah.
Now guys, that's for me, I'm a trained jiu-jitsu guard. Words hurt, you know what I mean? It's like, that's a thing. It's a feeling, but again, like, when you do jiu-jitsu, you realize that it's all a feeling. That pain I'm feeling, that's a feeling too. It's a physical sensation, but it's a physical sensation when somebody hurts my feelings, they say something about me, right? Say something about my school, One of my students just recently, this has happened last week. I didn't tell you, but I'm going to tell you offline. I should have just sit Rick over there and handle it, right? But he started, I feel like this, I help this person. I try to, this person come to my gym. I've been teaching him jiu-jitsu. He's had issues in his personal life, trying to help him with it. I feel like and then somebody said, man, so-and-so said this about the gym. So he's talking about the gym. I'm like, man, I can't believe it, really? So, yeah, so-and-so was there, so I got to talk to him. Man, the guy really said that? I mean, that really hurts me.
Yeah.
And now this is like, man, I should go over there and show the guy. You know what I mean? Like, of course we have those feelings, But again, it's like, why do I care that much? It doesn't matter, like, it's just words.
I had this happen to me with a guy left here. We haven't had a lot of people, maybe have people that quit, though. We haven't had a lot of people that switched without me telling them to, like,
Yeah.
Like, we had a dude live next door to Primate, and I'm like, why are you driving up here? Go to Primate. Like, we had a dude, whatever.
Yes.
Bunch of them. I've said, we got
all over.
Yeah, every gym in Tulsa's got somebody that used
especially,
to be here.
Especially us, man. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
I have 5 or 6 of them from other places. But, we do that for each other for sure.
Right.
It's like, it doesn't make any sense for you to train 1 day a week when you can train 3 days a week at Primate down the street.
Yeah.
Go there, But I had one guy that I know that left kind of under bad circumstances or whatever, and he was mad when he left or whatever, and he got injured, his own fault, completely. I hurt him, 100% his own fault. I've hurt
you hurt him
2 people, in 15 years.
Yeah,
I just haven't hurt a lot of people, and I hurt a dude's elbow, and then I hurt this dude's shoulder.
Yeah, I think this guy doesn't have a complete list because I got some injuries.
I mean,
yeah, I'm on the list.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I had a guy towards LCL tendon.
Yeah.
In here on the Americana, me. Like, I had him in the Americana.
He's defending so hard. He's like, I don't want to tap to this.
Blew it, and like, it was one of those deals where like my weight was on it. There was no way I could. I literally didn't have my hands locked.
Right.
There's nothing I could do about it. It happened. He this other guy though, and I put him in a Kimura. He fought out of the Kimura, and I literally was trying to let off of it, but could not because he spazzed so much.
Right.
And I hurt his shoulder.
It was always his fault, right? Yeah.
But this dude, this dude went to somewhere else and then was like
All those fucking guys on the north side, man.
talking smack or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, bro. I've got so much better about it, but I got to catch myself and take a step back. So I'm like, I'll go there and I'll fuck that whole gym up. You know, like at first I was like, who are you? Because I helped this guy a lot, helped this kid a lot. You know, I gave him like free stuff. I helped him get going, gave him huge discounts to train, gave him a lot of extra personal time.
Right, all this stuff.
And then have somebody like, just because your feelings got hurt, because you hurt yourself, your ignorance hurt you. My safety record is pretty good. I've got...
Right.
Even if you count the ones I don't remember, probably I've tens of thousands of rolling rounds. Who knows? 100,000 rounds rolled, and 2 or 3 times somebody's got hurt.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good safety record, right? You rolled for 3 months and got hurt.
Yeah.
That's you, and you got hurt 4 or 5 times, right? You hurt yourself a bunch because you're out of control, you know.
But Rick, here's the thing about these guys, right? And this encapsulates kind of what we're talking about, all right? If you don't know, you train jiu-jitsu, you learn, man, the mind is your most powerful weapon. The mind, that's what we need. We have to have this. With this and jiu-jitsu, man, do incredible things, right? I had a guy come in, he was a blue belt at the time. He was not a bad blue belt. He ended up getting a purple belt, and then he, you know. But I saw him come in, and I let him roll with a white belt, and this guy never trained before, and the other guy's a blue belt, right? So this blue belt, he's really handling this guy, right? Like in a way that I thought was a little bit egregious. Like, man, listen, this is the guy's first day here, right? This is his introduction to jiu-jitsu, right? And it wasn't so bad that I had to stop it, right? He was rolling with another tough, and that's probably the wrestler. The wrestler probably needed some of this anyway, right? But I asked the guy afterwards, I said, hey man, let me ask you a question. Why did you roll with that guy so hard? You know it was his first day, right? He's like, yeah, man. You know, it's like, why didn't you just let him get them out? Maybe get your armbar. It's like, because he's just going to go home. This is what he got to. This is his words. He's going to leave here and he's going to think that he's better than me.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's because of that, because of this thing I admitted in my mind, if I let him beat me, right? Or if I lose to a girl, right?
Yeah.
Or if I, lose to a teenager, right? These people are going to think they're better than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This exact same thing happened to me with Justin Lewis.
Yeah, here he goes.
I love Justin Lewis, man. He'll watch this too. I love Justin Lewis. But back, I don't even know, 10 years ago, I taught the 8 o'clock in the morning class over at Clinch early on. Right after we built right after spring floor went in.
Okay, nice.
I had not been there very long. And, but I was over there, I had this 8 o'clock in the morning class I was teaching. And Justin Lewis used to come to everyone. And he does like the realtor stuff in the afternoons and stuff.
Right.
So he had trouble getting to, so he started coming to the morning.
Big, strong guy too.
Big, strong dude. He was a white belt, he was pretty brand new. Maybe trained for a month or two whenever he started coming into this class.
Yeah.
And so he's in there, and mainly what I did with him was I had him do like guard retention drills. And I was working on open guard sweeping and like not getting past with double under, and Kurt Osiander had this series of open guard drills and then open guard sweep sequences.
Right.
And I would make these guys go up and down the mat doing these drills.
Yeah, nice.
And then we would just drill the sequences of moves, right? And it was really what I wanted to work on.
Right.
It was all basic stuff, it's like double ankle and then the tripod sweep and then the tomahawk sweep and then like basic things. But we would do this stuff, and then when I would roll with them.
Yeah.
I was a blue belt, I think, maybe a purple. But we were in there, we were rolling with them, and I was going easy with these guys. Right. And Justin, we probably went 10 classes. He was there every day, right? And I also used to work nights back then. If you remember, I worked nights, and I would get off work and shower, come straight to the gym and train, and then go home and sleep and go back to work.
Damn.
Right? So, like, I was tired one day, and I was going easy, and I let him kind of pass my guard and mess around. I would escape, and then I let him tap me.
Right.
And then I came back in the next class, and I went a little bit harder with him. And I ended up tapping him a couple of times.
Right.
And he was getting mad And I noticed he was mad as he was leaving. I was like, hey, Justin, is something wrong, man? Like, did I do something wrong?
Right.
I noticed that you're frustrated, man. Something going on. And he was like, I did so well against you last time. I just don't like losing, and I can't believe that I let you beat me so many times. And it registered in my brain. I was like, this dude thought that was real.
Imagine, yeah.
I have been training with this guy for a couple of months. This guy's been in here 20 times.
Yeah.
And every time I was going easy.
Right.
And this guy literally thought he was coming here and beating me.
Yeah.
And then the first time that because he was getting better, I stepped it up a little bit, made it a little harder on him. And he was so frustrated. He's like, I can't believe I lost to you. And I say this now because I have people that do this to me now.
Yeah.
If you came to a gym and on your first day you tapped out the instructor, why would you pay them money and come back?
Yeah.
Like, what are you learning if you have zero training and you beat the best guy in the gym that's teaching? Why would you go back?
What would this be worth?
It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But you just have to, I remember this, and so me being a jackass back then, he came back in the next class and he was like going hard. So I was like, okay.
No problem.
I destroyed the whole. I stopped the drills.
The harder he goes, the more you get stabbed.
We were drilling and he was throwing my legs and stuff, and I could tell he was frustrated. Yeah. And I was like, he's gonna try to beat me the whole thing, even more drilling. I was like, cool. So I rolled with him and just destroyed him the whole time. And he was so like hair disheveled as we left, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was just hurting, and I was like, I remember leaving, and I felt bad about it. At first, I was really proud of myself. It's like, you showed him. How dare he think he beat you? Like, you really showed him what's up.
Right.
And then we were walking out the doors, and I was closing up, and I saw the look in his face, and I was like, this dude's never coming back.
Yeah, you should have showed him.
I knew it in my mind. I was like, I just fuck this. This guy's not going to train anymore.
Yeah.
And I really liked Justin's a great dude.
Yeah.
And we were tight then.
Yeah.
And he still trains now. Thank God. He's just got his purple finally. You know, he's been on and off for 10 years. And but I thought right then, I remember feeling bad about it. I was just like, oh my, what an idiot. You got wrapped up in that.
Right.
That stupid ego for that 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And this guy's never gonna come back.
Right.
This guy is dedicated to your class. He's paying the gym money.
Yeah.
He comes in here. He's helping me as much as I'm helping him because he's there. He was there every class.
We lost a training partner.
Yeah.
We lost a connection.
Loses connection, training partner, friend.
Yeah.
We lost money in the gym. And this guy, you're supposed to be a coach. You're supposed to be helping this guy.
Right.
He just lost a place to train because he's never coming back to you. And I don't blame him.
Yeah.
There's a few of us that will go back in after somebody beats the crap out of you. You're like, oh, that guy beat me up. I'm going to go back there because he's good. Yeah. These people are few and far between. Right? And I've had the same thing here. We had some new guys in Rome with the girls, and we have one girl here, teenager, super tough. And a guy was rolling with her not that long ago. And I was watching, he was going kind of hard. He's super athletic, white belt guy. But he's wrestled, and he's trained here for a little bit. And I noticed he was like just giving her a lot of pressure. And I was like, hey man, lighten up on the shoulder pressure to the face and stuff. And she was like, no, it's good. I'm like, no, it's not good. Stop doing that. And she's so tough, she doesn't care. I'm like, stop. And
isn't it so funny when you see some bad behavior, Rick, and you go correct behavior, and the person that doing the bad behavior, they're like, no, it's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I was like, I saw him, like your mouth's bloodied up. It's not fine. No, but she's so tough, she doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, it's not fine. It's not cool. We got done, the guy was apologizing, and I was like, it's not really a big deal, dude. Everybody does it. That's why it's my job to observe, and because you're in the moment. You're not realizing you're being a jerk a lot of the time. So it's my job to observe the class and correct you.
Right.
And just let you know. I said, here's just something to remember, man. When you rolled with me the first time you came here, did I do any of that to you? And he was like, no. I was like, I was always cool with you, right? I never tapped you 100 times during the roll. I never, I never bloodied you up or anything, right? And he's like, nope. Then don't do it to other new people.
Right.
Just return the kindness that was given to you, so to speak. Because I tell what I ask my guys, you need to be as patient with the new people as I was with you, and I did the same. I was as patient with you as Christian was with me, and that's patient.
Right.
That was difficult, right? So some of my guys are difficult,
right?
And I'm like, hey guys, I was patient with you, right? So now you're a blue belt or a purple belt or whatever, and you have these new guys coming in. Be patient with them.
Yeah.
Realize that they're ignorant.
Yeah.
They're not. Most of them. You have some people that are crazy, but like truly crazy, truly have problems.
Right.
But those are super.
Those are few for our behind. Yeah. Between. Yeah.
Most people are just ignorant. Like you said, they're suffering for ignorance.
Yeah.
then show them the right way.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times it's just like, hey, for me, it's like, do you like if I held you down and stuck your shoulder right in my eye socket? Does that feel good? And they're like, no. Then don't do it to me.
Right. But coach, I want to show this guy.
I want to show him. Like, what are you showing him? That you're an asshole? Like, the only thing you're showing him.
Yeah, it's hard, man, being a white belt, for sure.
It's so hard to learn skills at that, as you say, that tension. It's almost impossible. We were talking a little at the end of class last night. Just imagine throwing a jab.
Yeah.
Right? When you talk about muscle memory, okay? So muscle memory is nervous system. It has nothing to do with your muscles.
Right.
It's nerves, right? So right now my brain is telling my nerves to fire. And my nerves are learning, and my brain is learning, right? All these things are learning to do that. After a while, I can close my hand and hit the same spot. So the only way you can do that is to relax. When you tense up and you try to do everything as hard as you can,
Right.
that's not how the move is done. You can't learn that way.
Right.
Right? So the easier way to do it would be to completely relax and do it slow.
Yeah.
And then speed it up, and then a little faster, a little faster, and a little faster, and then go full speed once you've taught yourself the range of motion, right? So,
but the problem is,
get better.
We get 3 guys coming in, 2 guys coming on Tuesday, coming on Thursday. No, I might have told the guy on Monday afterwards. Hey, I don't have time every time. This takes 5 minutes, right? And so, yeah. Part of it is a onboarding process. Rick has one here. We got one at Clinch. I mean, it's the. That's why the guys at Gracie Academy, they don't want to let you roll as a white belt. I mean, think about that. The funnest thing we get to do, what brought millions of people to jiu-jitsu, you can't even do it, right? Now, we don't agree with it, but at the same time,
they do like situational.
They do situational, for sure. But at the same time, Rick, like, these guys just look like, hey, look, man, we've had 1,000 people come in, we got 100 people left.
They're probably right. I mean, I don't agree with it as far as like I'm not doing it in practice.
Of course, yeah.
But they're right.
Yeah.
They are right. Which is, maybe this is on me. Why, if I agree that they're right, am I not doing it? But
the problem was we're having too many injuries. How do we solve the problem? Hey, let's not roll. That's one answer. It's not our answer, but it's an answer.
Yeah.
To a legitimate problem.
True white belt versus white belt, neither person ever trained. I agree.
They
should.
Yeah.
There's,
but did we do it? Did we all come up that way? I mean, come on. We didn't have schools. We didn't have a school to go to.
My gym was right down the street right here. We had 12 white belts in me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, good conversation though. It's we'll wrap it up on that, but it's interesting stuff, man.
Yeah.
The Chappelle deal for sure.
Yeah.
On that is I like how they handled that. They beat that guy up probably too much in the back, but
yeah, especially if he was suffering from mental illness. But again, we don't just got to jump the guy on stage. You know, so to end it, when is it appropriate to put your hands on somebody, Rick? If they put their hands on you first, no problem.
Yeah.
If you got to make the decision yourself. My decision is for sure. I don't know. It had to be a certain way. Somebody said something about my girlfriend and my wife.
Yeah.
It depends on the context for sure. If the guy's drunk, lots of different things. I don't think every one of those situations needs to beat the shit out of the guy either. Yeah. You know what I mean? But for sure. But again, that's what's great about jiu-jitsu. I don't have to beat the crap out of them, man. I can just show them a little bit. You know?
Way worse just get held down against your will.
Yeah. So anyway, man,
where I'm at on that. There is no black and white on that. There's a lot of
you got to make your own individual choices.
Depends on the individual. For me personally, what I've tried to tell my students honestly is let's avoid all that if we can. Stay out of those situations
too easy.
as best you can. Stay away from that stuff. And I tell them that because I've been through it and I came up through that stuff and it's not worth it. But I personally care more about, this is where maybe I differ from some coaches, but I care more about making sure my students aren't Colby Covington more than I care more about teaching them not to be Jorge Masvidal. That's the way I approach it.
But in the way, when you
sure
say they're not Colby Covington, hey, listen, man, you're a human being. Everybody else is a human being, and human beings deserve respect.
Yes.
Okay. So let's make sure that you respect everybody.
As long as I tell you, that's rule number one for us. Always be respectful.
Yeah.
I feel like that takes care of 99.9% of problems.
Right.
If you're always respectful of other people and you communicate when they're not being respectful, you're probably good.
Yeah.
Because that takes a lot of the ego out of it.
Yeah.
That's what I care more than anything. I want my guys and myself, I try to set an example of this is the way we do it here, this is what our team's values and our culture is. We're going to be respectful when you're here, we're going to be respectful you out at a tournament or whatever, or in regular life. And we care as much about people looking to our school as these guys develop good human beings and good teammates, etc., as I do about good jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Good jiu-jitsu is important, it's a part of it, but the way you act is a part of it too. Yeah, I don't like fighters that use the kind of negative promotion.
Right.
That's just me. I'm not saying it's right. We just don't do it here. If you want to do it, that's fine.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places.
But it's about respect.
It's about respect.
We better end it there, man. We'll talk these guys' ears off.
Yeah, bro. Good to see you guys. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. If you want to hear about something, let us know. Thanks again to Christian, as always.
We appreciate you guys.
Shirt, dog.
Thanks, man. I appreciate this.
I'm about to go back there. We'll talk to you guys. Talk to you guys soon.
Good times, guys.